So what are the ramifications of this political showdown? Joining us now is RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel and Fox News political analyst Gianno Caldwell. Thank you both for joining us here. Ronna, I want to start with you because the messaging from the Democrats has been about abolishing ICE, about open borders, about supporting sanctuary cities, not building the wall. How in the world do they have a winning message with the American people?
Well, they don't, Jason. And I think as the American people learned that asylum claims are up 1,700% over the past 8 years, when they learned that 12,000 kids have come here unaccompanied and they're being held in the care of HHS because they're coming without their parents to try and get into this country, when they hear all the things that are happening, that there are 800,000 cases right now pending in our courts for these asylum claims, they go, this is a crisis. This is ridiculous. The president is coming to the table with solutions, very reasonable, common sense solutions, and the Democrats refuse to fix the problem. This is owned by the Democrats, and the American people, the more they learn about this, are going to recognize that the Democrats are not doing right by our country or by the people trying to come into this country. We need to fix our immigration problem.
Now, Gianno, I have never seen a political party succeed by being anti-federal worker, by attacking the 20,000 plus Border Patrol agents, about saying they want to abolish ICE, they do all of these things. What is their message? How do you see this playing out?
You know, it's interesting. I was just talking about this on my Instagram account, and I can tell you the reason why they do this is because they feel that, hey, the border security folks may not be voting for them. They support President Trump. So when you think about the fact that in 2006, Barack Obama himself, U.S. Senator, said that we needed secure fencing. And he voted for the Secure Fencing Act. People like Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, they all supported it. And now they're against it, certainly because President Trump has proposed it. In addition to this, Sebastian Gorka mentioned something in the last segment that was very important. There are a number of criminals that are certainly trying to get in. Not all, but certainly there are some. If we look back in 2017, ICE, out of most of the folks that they pulled in, 74% of those folks had past criminal convictions for things as serious as possessing or selling drugs. These are the hardcore drugs. So when you think about these facts, these very irrefutable facts, how could they not want to protect our country only because they believe that they can collate some of these votes to protect their party and stay in power?
Now, Ronna, I think part of the messaging actually should be, let's do what the Border Patrol wants to do. I mean, we have a lot of these political pundits. We have these members of Congress who've never been down to the border. I was in Congress for 8.5 years. I went to the border multiple times, riding ATVs, chasing guys that had drugs that we confiscated, all these types of things. But most of the members have never, ever been there. Why has the Republicans, why haven't they shifted the focus to the Border Patrol? The people actually put their lives on the line every day and focus on what they want, because they do want the wall.
Well, they're also the experts. They're dealing with this every day. They're on the front lines. You know, if you go to your doctor and they say, here, you need to take this medicine, we see this all the time. You do it, right?
Right.
The ICE agents, the CBP, they're coming and they're saying, we need help. We have a crisis. We have drugs coming across the border. We have an influx of these caravans coming. We cannot maintain at the current state. And the Democrats have never listened to ICE and CBP. They voted against for sanctuary cities. They voted against Kate's Law. When have the Democrats ever supported our men and women serving at the border? And it's just shameful. And Chuck Schumer owns this 100%. Nancy Pelosi owns this 100%. Republicans and the president are fixing the problem. Democrats, come to the table. Do your job. We need to fix our immigration system.
Now, Gianno, the Democrats, they have said all along, hey, we're for border security. But have you seen them define what their supposed support of border security actually is? What is it?
No, and they probably don't know. They won't have an answer because they have no interest in finding an answer. And here's why. They realize that by 2045 that there's going to be a minority white voter. Right? So we're talking about they will no longer be over 50% white. That's why they've abandoned the white working class. That's why they abandoned the black community a long time ago, because they would like to support any narrative that's going to support these newer age, new generation Hispanic individuals who will be more likely to be Democratic voters. And that's what this comes down to. They want to continue to at least assess the power and continue to climb up the ladder. They have no interest in protecting our country. They want to protect their power base, and that's what I believe this comes down to.
So real quickly for each of you, how does this partial shutdown of the government, how does this actually come to an end? Ronna.
Well, I think the president's going to hold firm. Listen, this is a president who came to Washington and said enough of business as usual. He took on ISIS. He's taken on deregulation. He's taken on trade deals. He's lowered taxes. And he has said the immigration problem is a crisis. We're going to solve it. And he is not going to blink. And Democrats need to come to the table and fix this problem. It's their job. And the American people, the more they learn about what's happening at our border, are going to support the president in this issue.
Gianno, real quickly, the president is fighting the establishment, not only there in Washington, D.C., but also the media as well. How do you see this shutdown playing out?
Well, certainly it's going to take Democrats coming to the table. Do they have any incentive to come to the table? Like Rush Limbaugh said, not until January 3rd, they have no incentive. So they want to make a power play here. But if the individuals, these coalition groups continue to put the pressure on the Democrats, we continue to make the case. And I like what Congressman Duffy said. If President Trump gets in front of the cameras and does an address to the country stating the very importance of this, we could see some movement and certainly some changes.
Ronna and Gianno, thank you very much. And I think you're right. I think Sean Duffy's comments were spot on.